A massively underdeveloped area of a golfer's practice is hitting from sloping lies. Instinctively, we practice from a range mat which is perfectly flat, or a practice ground that's perfectly flat. In a golf course scenario, you'll often find yourself in uneven lies. The golf course is designed in such a fashion to test golfers' abilities. And when we get to these situations, golfers are often found wanting because they're not used to being in this scenario. So the shot I've got here is the ball very much below my feet. So there's a real feeling that the ball's below me and I want to topple forwards. Now, the way I play this, I've got to consider, well, what's that hill going to do to the golf ball and what's that hill going to do to me? The first consideration would be, if the ball is on a slope like this, the ball is going to curve in flight in the same way. So I always imagine, or I tell my clients to imagine, that you're rolling the ball down the slope. Which way would the ball roll? It will roll to the right. It will therefore fly to the right when you hit it. Depending on the severity of the slope, depends on how much the ball will curve. And that's working on the principle that you yourself have a straight shot. If you hit the ball straight, this slope makes it go to the right. If you already hit the ball to the right, this slope exacerbates that, makes it go a lot further to the right. If you draw the ball and hit the ball from right to left, this slope might actually cancel that out and you'll hit a largely straight shot. So consider the slope is adding some left to right shape. So what we might do with our setup is actually allow for that. So we'll aim left of target. Now down there you can see an old practice green with a bunker down the left hand side. So I might actually stand and aim towards that bunker. If I'm hitting towards the bunker, the slope is going to make the ball move from left to right in the sky. So I can allow for that. If I aim straight at the flag, chances are the ball's going to move too far to the right and away from the pin. The other consideration we talked about is, what is the slope going to do to me? Now I would feel, if I'm standing above the ball here, that it's going to make me want to tilt forward onto my tiptoes, but I'm also going to be taller than the golf ball. So the classic shots we see here are twofold. One is hitting the top of the ball because I'm taller than the ball. The other one is shanking the ball, hitting it from the heel part, because it tips me forwards, I lean into it and I shank the ball from the heel and the ball shoots low to the right hand side. So in an ideal world, I want to be lower and be more balanced, and I can do that with one action. I can sit more into my heels, so I do lots and lots of knee flex and actually feel a lot of body weight go back into my heels, almost to the point where I can tap my tiptoes. So my tiptoes are very light here, I've got all my body weight back on my heels. And then from here, if I aim down the left side and sit a little bit into my heels, I should be able to make good swings that fade the ball back into the middle with a good contact. Now I'd also like to, in this situation, encourage you to have an extra couple of practice swings to make sure you're balanced, because it's always a bit uncomfortable when you're making this swing for the first time. So I'm going to swing down a couple of times, feel like I've found the right height to hit the ground at the right point. I can then sit back a little bit, aim down the left side, keep my balance, and I can see the ball just moving off that bunker from left to right and coming round towards the middle of the green and landing in the middle of that practice green. And you can see here I stayed down, nicely committed, and I felt like I retained some pretty decent balance. So using those tips, next time you're on a downhill lie, or the ball is below your feet should I say, should help you hit good successful fading golf shots to the middle of the green.